Hurricane Fiona is battering the Dominican Republic. Yesterday, it slammed into Puerto Rico, causing severe flooding and power outages.
You hear some of the images, right? It comes almost 5 years to the day since Hurricane Maria ravaged the country. So joining us now with a look at what is next in helping Puerto Rico, not only in the aftermath of this hurricane, but also 5 years after Maria, Representative Richie Torres paying a close eye on all of this. Congressman, thanks for being here on an important morning.
Thank you for having me.
So right now the island is totally without power. Any estimation as to how long it will take before they can restore that power? And because it's down, what's the communication been like for folks here trying to reach family and friends?
I mean, it could take days to restore power in Puerto Rico, and the situation varies. There are some households that have backup generators, but there are households, businesses, even hospitals that have had no generators and therefore have had to transfer people. But we're reminded that Puerto Rico continues to be haunted by the ghost of Hurricane Maria. And nowhere is the legacy of Maria more deeply felt than in the chronic failure of the electric grid. A whole island has no electricity, despite paying the highest electricity costs in the country. Puerto Rico has much higher electricity costs than the rest of us, and yet has the worst grid that constantly breaks down.
And it was a reminder when the governor of Puerto Rico was giving a press conference about the impending storm, the power went out in the middle of the press conference. I mean, it just went to show the exact point you're making here. And we've seen this play out before. Well, FEMA has 300 workers currently on the ground. New York, as well as New Jersey, have pledged to send some help. Do you know what other aid the U.S. is prepared to send, Congressman?
Look, for me, it's not only about responding to the hurricane, but we have to be there in the long run. It's been 5 years since Hurricane Maria, and Puerto Rico is no closer to rebuilding the electric grid than it was 5 years ago. And that is a tragedy. The federal government has fundamentally failed to provide Puerto Rico with the resources and technical support it needs to speed up the rebuilding of the electric grid. And so I hope that FEMA and the Army Corps of Engineers and HUD and the Energy Department, that every tool at the federal government's disposal, that we have a long-term presence there, that we're not simply responding to one emergency, but that we're committed to rebuilding the electric grid as quickly as possible. I see rebuilding the electric grid in Puerto Rico to be the most urgent infrastructure need in the country.
Is there anything in place now to get those improvements rolling?
I would say no. A few months ago, I passed an amendment in the House that would seek to hold the federal government accountable for making every effort to expedite the rebuilding of the electric grid, but it's taken far too long. We should have rebuilt the grid 5 years after Maria. There's no excuse for it.
Yeah. So when we talk about long-term solutions, right? There's so many. There's infrastructure problems throughout the island. We see this play out not only when it comes to storm-related things, but it always seems like we know what the issue is, but it takes some kind of time before anybody takes action. So what is holding up the rebuilding of the grid then? In your opinion here, is it money?
Well, the entity that's responsible for rebuilding the grid, PREPA, is in a state of bankruptcy. So navigating a bankruptcy and rebuilding a grid, those are two overwhelming challenges, and that's why more support is needed from the federal government. I would argue that there's a deeper issue. Puerto Rico is a territory, a colony rather than a state. It has no members of the House of Representatives. It has no members of the Senate. A wise person once said, if you don't have a seat at the table, then you're probably and when it comes to the federal government, Puerto Rico's on the menu. It has no vote, no voice, and far less political power than it should.
Yeah. I want to get back to... Go ahead. I want to get back to something I asked you earlier about communication. Have you been able to reach any of your family and friends that are over there right now? And what can we do here in New York to help those folks?
Well, the people I know have no electricity, but thankfully have generators. But it's been a challenge. But it's not only Hurricane Fiona. I mean, there have been a never-ending series of natural disasters in Puerto Rico. It's seen a series of hurricanes since September of 2017, and it's seen a series of earthquakes since December of 2019. So it's natural disaster layered upon man-made disaster that has made Puerto Rico a never-ending nightmare. Power outages. And if these power outages were happening anywhere else in the United States, if they were happening here in New York, it would never be tolerated.
But you know how New Yorkers are. We're going to want to get out there and help. What would be your suggestion on how we can lend a helping hand? I'm
not aware of any organizations at the moment that are on the ground, but Obviously, if there were organizations that are providing volunteer support, I would encourage people to reach out to your local elected officials, who can certainly provide you with the information you need to bring aid to Puerto Rico.
Congressman, we're out of time here, but I heard you. I heard you loud and clear about no seat at the table. Are you calling for them to have representatives? We're out of time. I just wanted to get you on that.
I mean, I have a long-standing view that Puerto Rico should be a state and should have its own senators and U.S. representatives who are fighting for more federal funding.
All right.